I personally, I would keep Dante out of Revive right now.
Good morning. My name is Jerry Dickinson, Dean here at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. It is a great honor to welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh's commencement for the class of 2026. To our graduates today, you have earned this moment through years of study, persistence, sacrifice, and growth. You learn to read closely, think critically, argue carefully, listen deeply, and lead with judgment. And today, you leave Pitt Law prepared to enter a profession that needs exactly those qualities. With me here today, we have our distinguished faculty behind me, and as many of you know, these are the folks that help train and teach many of the graduates today to go out into the world to be lawyers, to be some of the best lawyers that Pittsburgh has to offer. And so I would like my faculty and colleagues to stand up, please, and have a round of applause for the faculty and all that they do. Great. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to recognize the extraordinary staff members who help make Pitt Law's success possible every single day. Their dedication, professionalism, and commitment to our students and institutions are essential to everything that we do. So a round of applause for the staff at the University of Pittsburgh. And finally, of course, I want to recognize our alumni. Pitt Law's strength and reputation are built not only by what happens inside the building, inside Barco, but by the accomplishments, leadership, and loyalty of our graduates across the country and around the world. And as we'll hear from today, Lucy Fado, a graduate of Pitt Law, someone who has gone off to do extraordinary things. Our alumni base, our alumni are key to Pitt Law's success. So thank you to our alumni. This is a special commencement because it comes at a special moment for Pitt Law. As many of you know, over the past year, our law school has experienced a level of momentum that is unmistakable. Pitt Law is on the rise. But today in particular is not only about the institutional momentum, it is about you, the class of 2026. You are part of this rise. You are not just graduating from Pitt Law at a moment of transformation. You helped create the transformation of this institution. And I know that sometimes for many people in the audience, sometimes law school can sound abstract. You're here today to celebrate graduates who are going to go off into the world and be lawyers, and we rightly celebrate that enormous achievement, but it is worth pausing to ask ourselves, what did these students actually do? Now, of course, they went through the first year of law school. They took contracts, constitutional law with me, torts, and many other courses that are standard courses for law school. They took upper-level courses in business law and commercial transactions and First Amendment, and those are all wonderful, absolutely wonderful courses and amazing intellects who help teach them and train them through those courses. But I also want to focus in on some of the incredible courses and trainings that these students had at the University of Pittsburgh so that you have a sense as to how incredible these individuals are. I'm actually going to talk about several courses and name some of the students that were in those courses to help train them to go out into the real world to be extraordinary lawyers. In particular, this past year, we created a street medicine practicum alongside the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. And interim dean and former dean Mary Crossley and Professor Tamara Pearson Brown helped to lead that course. And several of the students in the audience today helped make that course happen. Cam Lucas, Dexter Honora, Tristan Matthews, Bridget McCullough, Julia DiRenzo, and Ken Nakajima. These were 3L students who, for the first time in this course, entered into what may be a long-serving course. They joined street medicine at Pitt, where they did weekly rounds, meeting unhoused Pittsburghers where they were, on the streets at night, and oftentimes in moments where health law, housing, safety, and dignity all intersected. These were students who learned that the medical crisis is often also a legal crisis, and someone who needs a birth certificate, access to benefits, help with impounded car, support around domestic violence. These students We're on the streets in Pittsburgh helping the disadvantaged. That is what a Pitt Law degree can do. You're going to hear more about this later on in this program, but one of our most popular courses, Inside and Out, with Professor David Harris. There's students here today who are graduating: Celeste Hall, Dan Joyce, Paige Lawler, Shay Mullins, Catherine Cassidy, Brooke Foddy, Madison Ward, and Ann Pamphil. These were students who were in this class who crossed institutional boundaries alongside Professor Harris. And what do I mean by that? They studied criminal justice alongside incarcerated classmates, incarcerated individuals at the State Correctional Facility in Greene County, engaging directly with questions of punishment, race, incarceration, and justice on a weekly basis. They studied side by side with 14 incarcerated men. Together, they wrestled with criminal justice, punishment, race, and incarceration in ways that no other law school can offer. A legendary scholar here at Pitt, Professor Jules Lobel, taught a Supreme Court advocacy course this semester. Lance Huckabee, Ab Sargassi, Matthew Banyas, Sean Miller, Christian Johnson, these were students who worked alongside Professor Lobel in preparing Professor Lobel to go and argue before the United States Supreme Court in February of this year. Our students are doing that kind of work. Talk about a front row seat to the full arc of Supreme Court litigation. These students, in connection with the case ExxonMobil Corporation versus Cymax, students studied strategy, briefing, moot court, oral arguments, and opinion drafting, and traveled to Washington, D.C. with Professor Lobel in order to make that happen. On public interest, Dalton Bird, Trevor Bailey, Peter Macaretta, Sean Miller, Sidney Rapaski, and Logan Russell. These were students who participated in a course called Public Interest Advocacy with our new Assistant Dean of Public Interest, Megan Lovett. The students moved through theory, strategy, developing advocacy campaigns that used organizing, coalition building, media, legislation, and data to advance social change. That's what we're doing at Pitt Law, and these are the lawyers that we're sending out into the real world. And last but not least, I do have to say this, and Professor Bratman, I would never forget about this course. Improv for lawyers. Yes, here at Pitt, we have a course called Improv for Lawyers. It's one of the only courses in all the country where the students can come together with an expert like Professor Bratman and engage in improvisational exercises to sharpen the core skills of lawyering, listening deeply, thinking quickly, responding authentically, and building trust. If I recall, in one of those courses where I sat in on it, students were zipping, zapping, and zopping. Is that right, Professor Bratman? Yes. Practicing active learning, eye contact, vulnerability, and all of those things. Many of those students who were here: Cooper Feiner, Dylan Groff, Lisa G, Niara Jack, Rebecca Vandort, Mackenzie Damon. These are students who actually were in that classroom trained, and now they're going to go out into the real world and make a difference. I see you, Cooper. Together, these achievements reflect the strength of our students. They reflect the strength of our advocates, of our leaders and ambassadors of Pitt Law. And lastly, to be a little funny, this is the only graduating class who's ever invited the dean of the law school to the Barristers Ball event down at the Rivers Casino. And I attended, and I was there, and upon arriving, they said to me, "Dean Dickinson, we're going to have you introduce a special guest." Well, I said, "Well, I thought I was a special guest." And they said, "Well, no, actually, Professor Dean Dickinson, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates pierogi Jalapeno Hannah here, and we'd like you to introduce Jalapeno Hannah." And I thought, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? And so I did. I was more than happy to do it because I am a Pittsburgher. I've been to many Pittsburgh Pirates games, and for those who are not from Pittsburgh, I apologize for this, but this is what we do here. Pittsburgh pierogies, and they run around the Pittsburgh Pirates stadium, the third and fourth inning. But Jalapeno Hannah was at the event, and there I had to introduce Jalapeno Hannah, and before I knew it, this 7-foot pierogi came running up onto the stage and nearly tackled me. But it is those types of experiences and memories, of course, that we will take with us into the future. So with that being said, these accomplishments are not abstract. These reflect late nights in theory, reading, preparation, hard conversations as well. As you leave Pitt Law, graduates, I hope you carry with you not only the knowledge that you gained here, but also the habits this profession requires: humility, courage, discipline, integrity, curiosity, and service. Class of 2026, congratulations. We are proud of you, we believe in you, and we cannot wait to see what you do next. To begin our ceremony, it is my pleasure to introduce to you someone who has been extraordinarily important and an extraordinary source for everyone here on stage and for many people in the audience. Support, guidance, care for our students throughout their entire career at Pitt Law. From the day that they enter into this institution and at Barco, they are met with an extremely important person, and that person's name is Assistant Dean of Students, Allie Lindenmeyer. Dean Allie helps students and helps lead students through an extraordinary array of services: wellness, advising, student support for services. But her impact on this community goes far beyond any title. For years, she has been a trusted advocate, a trusted mentor, and steady presence for generations of Pitt Law students during both the challenges, of course, many of you know, the challenges, and also the celebrations of law school. So, it is with my pleasure to introduce to you and to have Dean Allie Lindenmeyer come up and start the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you. Meanwhile, I thought I was only 25. Thank you, Dean Dickinson. I am so pleased to welcome you all to commencement today and to have the honor of introducing some speakers. Our first student speaker will be SBA President Cedric Starks. Throughout his tenure at Pitt Law, Cedric served as the Student Bar Association class representative and president, and vice president of the Black Law Student Association, where he proudly advocated on behalf of his fellow classmates. Cedric also held membership roles in various committees and student organizations, such as the Diversity Committee, the Social Outreach Committee, and Summer Stipend Committee. During law school, Cedric worked as a teacher's assistant for property with Professor Marilee Nixon and HERP Scholars Program with Professor Rob Weibel. Cedric also helped facilitate civil discourse and dialogue with Professor Ann Sinsheimer. Cedric spent his law school summers working for various litigation groups at K&L Gates. Cedric focused his legal studies on civil litigation and will begin his legal career in the commercial disputes group at K&L Gates here in Pittsburgh. Prior to law school, Cedric grew up in the DMV, playing sports, playing video games, hiking, and enjoying all the perks of being what he calls an only child. Cedric earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in interdisciplinary studies of communication, law, and economics from American University. After graduating from American University, Cedric spent some time as an intern at the Public Defender Service of the District of Columbia, assisting with eligible incarcerated individuals apply for sentence reduction. In his spare time, which he doesn't have much of, Cedric spends time running, exploring the city with his family and friends, and watching sci-fi movies and shows with his cat, Grover. It has been my personal pleasure to get to know and love Cedric during his time at Pitt Law. I'm so thrilled that we'll be keeping Cedric here in Pittsburgh with us after graduation, and I hope you will join me in welcoming Cedric to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. How are you feeling? Awesome. Hopefully you're feeling proud of your accomplishments and excited about the future. And most of all, relieved that after about 20 years of schooling, you finally don't have to forgo a Saturday night to study. No, now we'll just have to forgo Saturday plans because we're adults with responsibilities and jobs. Sorry. Law school is often described like this. Your first year, they scare you to death. Your second, they work you to death. And your third, they bore you to death. I don't know who heard that pitch and said, sign me up, but here we are. And we didn't just choose law school, we chose Pitt Law. We looked at Barco, a place where windows are luxury and curb appeal is minimal. And we said, yes, that's where I want to spend the next 3 to 4 years of my life. But that choice is a testament to the people. Amazing faculty and staff welcomed us with open arms. And we came here from all walks of life and fostered a community that remained kind, fun, and genuine, even in the pressure cooker of law school. A pressure cooker of cold calls, briefs, IRAC or CREAC analysis, reading and outlining, law journals, mock trial, arbitration, negotiation competitions, incomprehensible statutes, and Latin and legalese. But we've had fun along the way too. We've enjoyed amazing community events, bar reviews, video game tournaments. I wonder who came up with that one. Barristers' balls, movie nights, group study sessions, and law sports leagues. Every cold call, brief, and competition was an opportunity to sharpen our skills. And every minute spent with friends was an opportunity to have fun and stay grounded. But we are not the same people who walked into Barco 3 years ago. We are sharper, wiser, and ready. So family and friends, please go easy on your graduates. If they seem a little dazed for a couple of days, they're probably just reminiscing about the wild ride that was law school. And if you ask them a legal question and they say they don't know, or if their initial answer seems a little incomprehensible, they aren't blowing you off. We've just spent the last 3 to 4 years learning Latin, legalese, and that the answer to almost every question is, it depends. Okay. I used to dread the phrase, it depends, especially as a scared 1L. I wanted black and white answers. But as we stand here today, I realize it is possibly one of the most important rules of our profession. Because today, the future of it truly depends on us. It depends on how well we continue to research and prepare. It depends on how well we craft and deliver our answers to clients. It depends on how well we continue to use our unique strengths to our advantage. And it, in this case, is whatever we want to accomplish. Preserving the rule of law depends on us. Helping people through the worst periods of their lives depends on us. Using our knowledge and skills to make the world a better place depends on us. That responsibility sounds daunting, but look around. You've already proven you can handle it, so let's celebrate, let's rest, and then let's go out and show the world what we can do. Thank you. Enjoy commencement.
Thank you, Cedric. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Matt Martier, who is class president of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, class of 2026. Max is proud to be graduating from Pitt Law as a double-tier pitter. I call them a pit pitter. Having earned his Bachelor's of Arts in History and Philosophy from the university in 2023, before continuing across campus to begin law school. In other words, Max has spent the better part of his life in Oakland, which has given him a legal education, lifelong friendships, and the ability to identify at least 3 different viable lunch options within a 5-minute walk of Barco. During his time at Pitt Law, Max served as the 3L class president, where he has had the privilege of representing his classmates and the responsibility of sending many emails that he sincerely hopes were helpful. He also chaired the Student Bar Association Elections Committee, served on the Curriculum Committee, worked as a teaching assistant for Professor Bratman's Legislation and Regulation course, and served as senior managing editor of the University of Pittsburgh Law Review, which he developed both a strong command of legal scholarship and a complicated emotional relationship with his Blue Book. Max's legal experience reflects his interests in litigation, public service, and legal writing. He served as a judicial intern for Justice Christine Donahue of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, where he drafted bench memoranda and assisted with opinion-related work. He also spent a summer with the United States Attorney Office for the Western District of Pennsylvania, working with assistant U.S. state attorneys on criminal and appellate matters. After graduation, Max will remain in Pittsburgh and begin his career as a litigation associate at Eckert Siemens. Outside the classroom, Max became known for being deeply involved in the life of the law school, whether through SBA, Barrister's Ball, Law Review, hallway conversations, or the occasional group chat that became more procedurally complex than expected. A proud Pittsburgher and a former theater kid, Max has always believed that litigation is the natural destination for someone who enjoys writing, public speaking, and just being dramatic enough to call it advocacy. Above all, Max is grateful for the classmates, professors, mentors, administrators, and friends who have made Pitt Law feel like home. He will miss the community dearly, though he plans to remain close enough that his future appearances at Pitt Law events may raise reasonable questions about whether he actually left. It has been a true joy for me working with Max. I will miss seeing his warm smile in Barco and in my class now that he's graduating. Please join me in welcoming Max to the podium.
Cedric stole some of my jokes, so please still laugh whenever I say them. So thank you, Dean Alley, for that introduction. I promise I'll keep this brief. I know I'm one of the final procedural hurdles here, standing between all of you and officially becoming Pitt Law grads. And after 3 long years of law school, I know better than to be a reason a proceeding runs longer than necessary. So standing here today, it feels especially surreal for me because this isn't my first graduation ceremony in this room. My high school graduation was held here too. Back then, I was sitting somewhere out there in a cap and gown, wondering what came next, with no idea that 7 years later, I'd be back in this same place, graduating from law school, let alone saying a few words on behalf of my class. There's something meaningful about that. Life has a way of bringing us back to familiar places as different people. The room may be the same, but we are not. Graduation isn't just a celebration of arriving somewhere. It's a chance to look back and realize how much we've changed along the way. To Dean Alley, Dean Dickinson, the faculty, staff, families, friends, and loved ones here today, thank you. Thank you for guiding us, challenging us, supporting us, and when necessary, listening patiently as we try to explain why we're stressed about something called the Erie Doctrine. And to the class of 2026, congratulations, we did it. We made it through the cold calls, the outlines, the finals, the applications, the interviews, the blue booking, and the deeply humbling experience of reading a case for 45 minutes only to realize that the holding was, apparently, it depends. Please laugh. We came to law school to learn the law, and that we did. We learned how to write with passion, read with care, argue with structure, and sound calm while being very much not calm. But Pitt Law gave us more than that. It gave us a community. Somewhere along the way, this place stopped feeling like a law school and started feeling like a more meaningful part of our lives. I think about that when I look back on one of my first classes here. Shortly after law school had started, in my 1L leg reg course, we were randomly paired with another student to complete a statutory research project. The person I luckily got paired with turned out to be one of the best friends I ever had. At the time, it was just another assignment, but looking back, it was one of those small, ordinary moments that shaped my whole law school experience. And I know so many of us have stories like that. Random seats, random partners, random conversations in the hallway that somehow became real relationships. That's what Pitt Law gave us. Classmates who shared outlines without hesitation, friends who sat beside us in the library when nobody had the energy to talk, professors, staff, and administrators who pushed us and made this place feel human. People who made the hard parts bearable and the ordinary days memorable. As class president, I had the privilege of seeing this class from a unique perspective. And what I saw wasn't just a class of smart future lawyers, though we certainly are that. I saw people who cared, people who showed up for one another, celebrated each other's wins, and understood that someone else's success doesn't detract from their own. That's something worth carrying with us. Because wherever we go next, the profession we're entering will ask a lot of us. It'll ask us to be prepared, persuasive, careful, and resilient, but it'll also ask us to be decent. To remember that behind every case, client, rule, and argument, there are real people whose lives will be changed by the work we do. I hope that when we leave here, we remember that the best lawyers aren't only the smartest people in the room, they're the people others can trust. Today, we should let ourselves feel proud, not because it was easy. It wasn't easy. We should be proud because we kept going, learned things that once felt impossible, and supported each other through it all. When I graduated from Pitt as an undergrad, my parents gave me a card with a line from Henry David Thoreau. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. And I kept that card with me throughout law school. It sat right on my desk all 3 years. And I'll admit, there were plenty of days when go confidently felt like a little bit much. Some days the goal was less, live the life you've imagined, and more, make it through this reading without falling asleep. But standing here now, in the same room where an earlier version of me once sat, wondering what came next, that quote feels a little different. It feels less like a command taken to have everything figured out, and more like an invitation to trust the paths we've taken, the people we've become, and the work that brought us here. So class of 2026, as we leave Pitt Law, I hope we go confidently. I hope we live lives that honor the people who helped us get here. I hope we become lawyers who aren't only skilled, but kind. Not only successful, but principled. And not only impressive, but good. Knowing this group, I have very little doubt that we will. And years from now, when we look back on this day, I hope we remember not only the degree we earned, but the people who helped make this place feel like home. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it.
Thank you, Max. It is now my final pleasure to introduce our final student speaker, 3L class vice president, Dylan Groff. During his time at Pitt Law, Dylan has served each year as a Student Bar Association class representative. During his time in the SBA, he served on various subcommittees, including the Social Committee, the Elections Committee, and the Philanthropy Committee. While in law school, Dylan participated in mock trial, moot court, and negotiations competitions. In the classroom, Dylan was known for being a quiet student and never speaking up in class, which I believe is not an accurate reflection of Dylan. Dylan is incredibly grateful to his professors for never asking him to stop raising his hand, and his classmates for encouraging him to step outside of his shell. Dylan spent his first summer with the U.S. Attorney's Office and his second with Eckerd Siemens, where he will begin his legal career. Perhaps most relevant to his future as a lawyer, Dylan organized a law student team to play in the ACBA Basketball League, winning the championship in his third year. He salutes his fellow ACBA champions. Dylan followed an unconventional path to law school. He began his undergraduate degree at Amherst College on the pre-med track. After learning that his interests lay elsewhere, Dylan pivoted and began his postgraduate life working on the Hill in DC before coming home to work in community relations here in Pittsburgh for the Jewish Federation. His passion for public service led him to pursue a dual degree. He graduates today with a master's in public policy and management from Carnegie Mellon University, in addition to his JD. Dylan has maintained his commitment to public interest law by serving as president of PLISIF, Pitt Law's public interest student organization, and volunteering with Neighborhood Legal Services. Dylan continues to play basketball and is actively recruiting for next year's ACBA season, which he and Cedric Starks intend to win yet again. Dylan truly embodies kindness and humor in everything he does. As all of my students know, community is everything to me, and Dylan has a gift of bringing people together, which is why it's so fitting to have him present the next award on behalf of the graduating class. It is my great pleasure to invite Dylan to the podium.
I get to do this. Hi, everybody, and to my classmates, thank you for finally letting me speak. I'm honored today to present the Robert T. Harper Teaching Award. This award recognizes one professor each year who not only excels in teaching doctrine to Pitt Law students, but who also models the professionalism, integrity, and care outside of the classroom that we hope our graduates carry into their careers. The awardee is elected by the graduating class based on the professor's lasting impact on students' learning, confidence, and sense of belonging in the legal community. Before I get to my comments, nothing I say here is adequate to describe the awardee, and so to the friends and family, I encourage you to speak to your graduates about this professor because I have no doubt they have wonderful stories about his impact. When Dean Alley told me who I would be presenting this award to, I was thrilled. In my first year, countless upperclassmen told me how lucky I was to be placed in his class and encouraged me to take as many courses with him as I could. That advice and evaluation of my good fortune was instantly validated, and I passed it on to any incoming students who could ask. Ironically, this professor also gave me the worst grade of my career, a C+. Yet despite the excellent faculty here at Pitt Law, I can't think of anybody more deserving of this award. This professor brings a unique passion to the classroom, blending academic rigor and compassion to all of the coursework. He is always available to meet with his students, encouraging them to wrestle with the tough topics we cover. And he's also available just to talk about professional opportunities, talk about upsetting news, talk about personal troubles, which I found myself in his office doing probably too frequently. But this blend of enthusiasm for legal topics and genuine concern for our well-being makes him deserving of this recognition. Yet this professor carries the same academic rigor and compassion outside of the classroom. He's best known in the legal field for his work examining police behaviors leading to the creation of new legislation, advocating against police violence and the over-policing of minority neighborhoods, taking aim at the unrealistic fictions present in the law of evidence, and continuously advocating for criminal justice reform. And as Dean Dickinson mentioned, he's brought this energy to Pitt Law through his class Inside Out, which brings together Pitt Law students and incarcerated persons to learn with and from each other. Professor Harris, it is truly my honor to present you with the Robert T. Harper Award. Your passion in the classroom and compassion for everyone you encounter continue to validate my decision to study law here at Pitt and influence how I want my own career to develop. Thank you for everything you've done for me and my classmates during our time here. You've truly left a lasting impact on us.
Where's my 1L class? Where's evidence? Let me hear Inside Out. There you are. Dylan, thank you. Class, graduates, I am overwhelmed. I am so grateful. I cannot explain to you how much this means to me that this comes from you. At this point in my life and my career, there is very little I would ask for, very little that I would appreciate on the level the honor you've given me to. Well, the dean could give me a raise. I mean, I would be okay with that. But really, you can't imagine how much this means to be recognized by you for our time together. You know, the job of law professor is such a great gig. It really is. I mean, the stuff we get to do, we get to be scholars, we get to publish things, we get to do research in things we're really interested in that really grab our attention. We get to teach courses that are really interesting to us and pass that knowledge along to students. We get to, in my case, they let me teach in a prison. I mean, and they encouraged me to do this. They encourage our work in the community, the work that I've been able to do with police and community groups and so many other things. They want us to do those things. I'm grateful to Pitt, but I gotta say, the only reason any of us are here is you. No students, no us, right? So we thank you for being here. We are the lucky ones. I'm the lucky one. I get to do what I love because of you. And I cannot give you enough gratitude for that. I know my colleagues share the same thought. Now, as you go out those doors and you go on to pass the bar, there's no doubt about that, and you take up your career, your first job, as you do that, you have a kind of a similar relationship that we have with you. No students, no law professors, no clients, no lawyers, right? Your future, what you do, your whole career is all about your clients. Now, we have some courses in which you deal with clients, all our clinic courses, and we do some simulations about our clients, but clients are going to be everything now. And just the same way that we depend, there's that word again, we depend on you, you depend on your clients. Some of you may have come to law school with the idea of, well, I have a good career, I make a good living, seems interesting, but in the end, it's all about the people you represent. And you must stay focused on that. It doesn't matter whether your client is a person who is arrested and incarcerated like my clients used to be. It doesn't matter whether you're a prosecutor. It doesn't matter whether you're in a law firm and you're representing ABC company. All of those clients are now going to be your responsibility. And that is what your professional life will center on. So as you go forward and you think about who you might be grateful to or what you're thinking about with your career, remember, it's all about the clients. This is not an easy climate today in which to practice law. There are a lot of economic pressures. There's AI waiting for all of us out there. And we see the legal system being used in ways that pervert the rule of law and use law as the clothing of political power. It is not an easy moment that we are bringing you into. It's not an easy time. But I'm confident that all of you will know the right thing to do. Will know when it's time to stand up for your clients, when it's time to stand up for a principle. That's what lawyers do, the good ones. They stand up, and you will too. You'll have many occasions to do it, many more than maybe we did as we were coming up, but it's coming, and you will have that opportunity. So keep that in mind as you go forward, because the rule of law is your inheritance. It belongs to you now. You have to take care of it and do what's necessary to preserve it for the rest of us. As I close these few remarks and I say I'm grateful to you again, I want to just say one other thing because I'm grateful to somebody else as well. My own, not mentor from law school, not mentor from college, but my high school English teacher, Paul Baltz, who taught me that our learning is up to us and we can excel, and he never expected anything from us, from me, but the absolute best we could do. He wouldn't accept anything else, and he expected that. He's here with me today, and I'd like to dedicate this award to him. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Professor Harris, Dylan, Cedric, Max, Dean Alley. Thanks so much. Professor Harris, thanks for all that you do. Well-deserved honor, incredible teacher, creative scholar, a valued member of our community, and a dear friend. So, Professor Harris, thank you so much for all that you do. It's now time to introduce our 2026 commencement speaker, Lucy Fado. It's my privilege to be able to do this. Lucy is a 1991 graduate here of Pitt Law, and I can say this, one of the most accomplished legal and business leaders in our alumni community. I'll talk more about why that is. Lucy's career reflects the very best of Pitt Law and Pitt Law education. Excellence, leadership, judgment, service, and impact at the highest levels. And Lucy's story is also, in a very real sense, a Pittsburgh story. She grew up here in Pittsburgh, in Highland Park, attended the Ellis School, earned her undergraduate degree at the University of Pittsburgh, and then came to Pitt Law and graduated in 1991. Before her career would take her to the highest levels of corporate law and business leadership across the world and here in the United States, she was shaped by this city and by the institutions that make Pittsburgh so special. As someone who is also from Pittsburgh, I find that especially meaningful, and Lucy's career reminds us and reminds our graduates that you can be deeply rooted here, formed by the values of this region and this law school, and then still lead on the national and the global stage. Lucy's Pitt Law experience reflects what legal education is at its best, and I've had many conversations with Lucy, and I learned more about her experiences here at Pitt Law back in the early 90s, and some of her favorite professors, and you're all going to be graduating, and you'll remember your professors as well. In civil procedure was Chancellor Emeritus Mark Nordenberg. In torts, it was Professor Alan Meisel. In property, it was Professor Bernie Hibbets, and in criminal procedure, it was Welsh White, classes and professors that left a lasting mark on Lucy's career. And as a notes and comments editor of the Law Review, she took on the work that may not have been glamorous, of course, but was deeply formative, teaching her precision, discipline, and attention to detail. Lucy currently serves as the Executive Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary of Seaport Entertainment Group in New York City, where she oversees legal, regulatory, government affairs, corporate governance, and corporate security matters. Now, before joining Seaport, Lucy served as the Vice Chair of American International Group, AIG, where she also held major leadership positions there, as well as General Counsel and Global Head of Communications and Government Affairs. She has also served as a General Counsel at S&P Global, Head of the Americas and General Counsel at Nardella and Company. Lucy began her career, however, at Davis Polk & Wardell, one of the world's largest and prestigious law firms, where she rose to partner in the firm's corporate department, focusing on capital markets. And from there, she built a career that has taken her into the boardrooms, global companies, complex transactions, governance challenges, regulatory matters, and some of the most consequential legal and business environments in all the country. But Lucy is not only an extraordinary lawyer and an executive, she's also deeply committed to the profession, to public service, and to legal education. She serves on an advisory board of Harvard Law School Center on Legal Profession, on the Board of Visitors of the University of Pittsburgh Dietrich School, on the Board of Visitors for Pitt Law as well, and she also serves on the Board of Directors of the Alfred Smith Memorial Foundation. For us, it is especially meaningful that Lucy returns today to Pittsburgh, not only as a distinguished national leader, but as one of our own. She is a Pitt Law graduate whose career embodies the ambition, the excellence, and service that we seek to instill in every student who walks through the doors. As Pitt Law continues to rise, we are fortunate to have alumni like Lucy Fato helping to lead, helping to advise, and helping to inspire the community. Please join me in welcoming our 2026 commencement speaker, Lucy Fato.
I do have to lower this. I'm not that tall. Oh my goodness. Wow. What an amazing morning it's been already. And I will give my speech, but I feel like our work is done. What an amazing group of students, professors, all the students who spoke today, so impactful already. I can already tell this is an amazing class of Pitt Law School graduates, and I'm just delighted to be here, and it's an incredible honor to be your commencement speaker. So I do want to thank Dean Jerry Dickinson for inviting me here, and I know some of the students had a say as well, so I want to thank you. And thank you for those kind words. I really do appreciate it. And I do also, Jerry mentioned this, but I too want to acknowledge the families of today's graduates who are here, and maybe some who are watching online. I am certain they played a key role in getting you here today and to this point, and are incredibly proud of you. And I also want to acknowledge the faculty again, just hearing what the students have said about you, and some of the remarks were very impressive. So the opportunity to speak with all of you means a lot to me. As you know, I was born and raised in this great city, and I went to Pitt, both undergrad and law school. And while I've spent the last 35 years practicing law in New York City, Pittsburgh is always home. I'm extremely grateful to Pitt for the fabulous, fabulous education I received. There's no doubt that my professors and my classmates inspired me in ways that still impact me today, both in the work I do day to day as a corporate lawyer and my efforts to give back through community service and pro bono work. So I'd like to start by sharing a quote that really struck me the first time I heard it, and I think frames a lot of what I plan to share with you today. It's attributed to one of the greatest artists ever, Leonardo da Vinci. I will say I was really nervous I was going to say Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm glad I did not do that. Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci said, "It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." I love that. People of accomplishment went out and happened to things. You are all people of accomplishment, and you're about to embark upon what will certainly be an interesting and exciting chapter in your life. Like me, Pitt Law gave you a solid foundation to go out and happen to things. Years of experience taught me few additional lessons, and today I want to share 4 of them with you. Some have already been covered, so hopefully I can be additive. First, nothing replaces hard work. Second, build relationships. They will prove critical over the course of your career. Third, your law career does not need to be linear to be successful. And 4, and likely most important for your personal happiness, is finding ways to give back. So the first lesson, you already worked hard to get here in this room today. Keep it up, because the best way to happen to things is simple. Work hard. My first job out of law school was with the law firm Davis Polk, as Jerry mentioned, in New York City. Most people I started with were fresh out of Ivy Leagues. I was an outlier, but I worked really hard and I quickly learned that nothing could replace that. And against all odds, I made partner. You simply must put in the time. It doesn't mean you can't have fun or take a break from time to time, but you must focus on the work, especially in your early years practicing. And I mean all aspects of the work. I can tell you many stories about complex legal issues I grappled with over my 14 years at Davis Polk, or about big high-profile IPOs and M&A deals I worked on. But what still sticks out in my mind to this day? The late nights standing in front of a copier as a first-year associate, trying to get a few copies of a 300-page loan agreement out the door, the printer jamming, figuring out how to fix it, begging the mailroom guy to keep the FedEx guy around long enough until I could race downstairs, give him all the packages that had to go out that night for a $1 billion deal to get signed the next morning. Now, none of you have to worry about those kinds of details thanks to the internet, PDFs, and email, not to mention AI. But the point is, no detail was too small to focus on in those early days. And despite the hard work, and in case anyone has told you otherwise, it is fun to be a lawyer. We meet interesting people, we are problem solvers, and I believe the work we do is important and honorable. And you've heard that already from some people on this stage today. We also tend to work in groups, or as part of a team where you make friends that can last a lifetime. Which brings me to the second piece of advice: build relationships with peers, with clients, and even with lawyers at other law firms and in government jobs who may be on the other side of the table. In your early years of practicing, you will need other people to help you. Every person in the chain of what you are working on matters, whether it's a mailroom person, an assistant, a paralegal, a senior partner, or an important client who happens to be a CEO or chairman of a board. Build relationships all around you because you will need a lot of support, and that will be true throughout your entire career. Plus, some critical learning comes from spending time with and around experienced lawyers and other professionals. Judgment, for example, can't really be taught in school or on Zoom, but it can be learned by working alongside experienced people who have spent years fine-tuning it. Don't underestimate the importance of in-person work, not just to learn, but to build relationships that will stay with you throughout your career. The early relationships from my law firm days and the ones I continued to build over the years still help me to this day. Which brings me to the third lesson. A successful career in law doesn't have to unfold in a straight line. There are many detours and pivots that will arise. My career has certainly not been linear, although that is not always obvious to people when they look at my resume. While I loved my time at Davis Polk and will always be grateful for my law firm experience, I was offered a role to become the Deputy General Counsel and Corporate Secretary to the board for Marsh McLennan, a global Fortune 500 company. When I announced I was taking the job, a lot of people thought I was taking a giant step back by leaving a partnership at a prestigious law firm to become just a number 2 lawyer. I didn't see it that way and was very surprised by that reaction. To me, it was a great opportunity to go in-house and learn about a company from the inside. As corporate secretary, I'd have direct access to the board of directors and would oversee all aspects of governance, an area I would grow to love and develop significant expertise in. Also, I was going to work with someone I had known for many years and who I trusted. Remember the importance of relationship building. In the end, it turned out to be an excellent decision that would put me on a different trajectory and provide me with opportunities I could never have predicted. In 2014, after 9 years at Marsh, I was recruited to become the general counsel at S&P Global, the rating agency that took a real beating during the 2008 financial crisis. The company was sued by every government agency imaginable: the DOJ, the SEC, 22 state attorneys general, among many others. Resolving those complex matters, which I did in just 6 months, was one of the biggest accomplishments of my career. Without my experience at Marsh, I don't believe I would have had the skills required to get that job, let alone do the job and achieve a global settlement in record time. And talk about another nonlinear move. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined the detour that followed S&P. I found myself working alongside former prosecutors, former FBI and CIA agents, and career investigators at a global private investigative firm called Nardello & Co. I became the general counsel, but also took on a significant business role managing the North American operations of the firm. This role came my way because of a relationship I maintained with a former S&P colleague. Even though I did not meet a single piece of criteria on the job description, not one, she sent it to me very excited, out of the blue, and said, "Lucy, I think this job is perfect for you." Nardello turned out to be my best and most fascinating work experience, and I am still on the board of directors because I love and respect the people and the work they do. What came next did not appear to be nonlinear on its face, but it changed the course of the next decade of my career. In 2017, executives I worked with earlier in my career at Marsh McLennan were hired to lead AIG, the global insurance giant. They asked me to join them as general counsel. It was a huge job and certainly presented the biggest professional challenge of my career. What I didn't realize when I accepted the job was that I would be presented with an incredible opportunity that led me to the most gratifying work I've done as a lawyer, and the fourth and most important learning I want to share with you. That is, what a gift it is to be able to use your legal skills to give back. Before explaining this incredible opportunity, let me step back and take a moment to explain what inspired me to go to law school in the first place. The summer before my senior year in college, right here at Pitt, a family friend who was a young lawyer suggested I shadow her for a day. She was trying to convince me to go to law school after graduation, which was not on my radar screen at all. I eventually agreed, and the day I picked to spend with her, I went to the local Pittsburgh jail and courthouse not too far from here, and it turned out she was a public defender. I had never been to a jail or a courthouse. In fact, I knew virtually nothing about how our legal system worked. It turned out that the sole purpose of the hearings that day was to give her the opportunity to prove there had been no probable cause to arrest her clients, none of whom could afford a lawyer, and all of whom she met for the first time that morning. She explained to me that if she won, the case was over and her client went home. If she lost, the client would go on to the next phase of the legal process, likely take a plea or go to trial. As I watched her win case after case after case, representing mostly young men of color, and proving there had been no probable cause for their arrest, I was in awe of everything going on and shocked by the volume of arrests that violated basic civil rights. After winning back-to-back cases for most of the morning, she lost one. And when she did, she turned to me and said, "This is why I do what I do. This is what happens to young men of color in our country when they are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because I was unable to show there was no probable cause for their arrest, they now have a criminal record. And regardless of the ultimate outcome of the case, their lives and future will be negatively impacted." I still get chills thinking about that. It was the exact moment I decided I wanted to go to law school. I was certain I would become a public defender to ensure basic civil rights were protected. As you now know, it didn't exactly turn out that way. So how did a job at a global insurance company allow me to finally get back to that spark that led me to Pitt Law School to begin with? Shortly after joining AIG, I learned I had inherited an amazing pro bono program. The pro bono work AIG lawyers did ranged from helping immigrants gain US citizenship, helping veterans navigate complex systems to get access to medical benefits they were entitled to, and helping women in abusive relationships with divorces and child support. Still inspired by that moment in a Pittsburgh courtroom back in 1987, I decided to add a criminal and social justice pillar to the AIG pro bono program. I had recently become friends with a co-founder of the Innocence Project in New York City, an organization that focuses on wrongful conviction cases. And through his connections, I personally took on a death penalty murder case in Louisville, Kentucky. I visited the local jail a few times where a man, by then my client, had been held for 10 years without a trial. I learned this man had first landed in the prison system when he was just 11 years old. Perhaps a young black boy in the wrong place at the wrong time. A full circle moment. Regardless of the facts, I could not understand how someone in this country could sit in a local jail for a decade without a trial. After a lot of research, and by leveraging a high-powered network back in New York City, including lawyers at top law firms and investigators at Nardello, who all agreed to help on a pro bono basis, we uncovered unbelievable prosecutorial misconduct and were able to reach a favorable settlement for our client. That case brought me closer to the Innocence Project, and because I was now paying more attention to access to justice issues generally, I would also meet some incredible people doing prison reform work, which, by the way, I'm thrilled to hear about all the work the students are doing in prisons. It's excellent. My friends doing prison reform work help to educate and rehabilitate incarcerated men and women so they can integrate back into their families and society after serving their time. I became active in this community and still work closely with some amazing people whose generosity and commitment to helping others is not just changing lives, but saving lives. Supporting this critical work has been by far the most satisfying part of my career and is the reason I decided to provide financial support to establish the Criminal Justice Fellows Fund at Pitt and Pitt Law School to support students pursuing internships with organizations focused on fairness and access to justice. I don't think I need to say this, but I will anyway. I encourage each of you to find a way, regardless of your day job, to give back at some point during your career. You've clearly got that already deeply instilled from this fabulous group of people sitting here on the stage with me. I know you will find as much, if not more, joy and happiness in that work, and the satisfaction you get from helping others in need will stay with you for a very long time. It has been almost 40 years since I made the decision to go to law school. Being a lawyer is still fun for me, and I believe even more strongly now that the work we do is important and honorable. So I will leave you today with another quote, this time from a childhood hero. A brilliant man dedicated to being a calming influence to children, teaching us all so many valuable lessons, and a Pittsburgh guy, Fred Rogers, also known as Mr. Rogers. On one of his shows, Mr. Rogers shared advice his mother gave him as a young boy. She said to him, "When bad or scary things happen, look for the helpers. There are always people trying to help." At the end of the day, lawyers are helpers. We help all kinds of clients on all kinds of matters. We help them build businesses. We help them solve complex issues. We help them and their families through every stage of life. And sometimes we help people get access to justice and a fair process, even though they can't afford a lawyer. I am confident each of you will go on to be great helpers. I am also confident that, like me, you will look back on your time at Pitt Law and see how your excellent legal education influenced the decisions you made, the relationships you built, and the success you will most certainly have. Finally, thank you for having me here today. Congratulations to the Pitt Law class of 2026. Now, go out there, be a helper, and happen to things. Congratulations.
Thought this was a gift for me, but it's not. It's for Lucy. We have a gift for you. So thank you so much for your commencement speech and for all you do for the University of Pittsburgh School of Law and the University in Pittsburgh. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, Lucy, really, thank you so much. And the thematic overlap is incredible. And we didn't mean, Allie, did we mean to do this? We did not. And that we have students here, of course, graduates who did amazing work in criminal justice, the Inside Out program with Professor Harris. Professor Harris getting the award. And then, of course, an alum here, Lucy, whose life was changed by the injustices that she saw in the criminal justice system. And so just an amazing story, amazing themes, and really this is what makes Pitt Law the community that it is. So thank you so much, Lucy, for all that you do. All right, with that being said, we will now proceed with commencement for the class of 2026. But before that, Allie writes this, and so I have to say that before that, I know why they make me say this, because they think people will abide by the dean. Before that, however, I know many of you want to take photos, of course, of your graduates. And so what we would ask, however, as we go through the proceedings, we ask that you, if you do leave your seat, all right, take a picture that you not block the view of others, all right, and other guests. And please know that we have professionals, of course, taking photos and pictures of every single graduate here today, and that our pictures will be available for graduates to order as well. So we just want to mention that. We have many students to honor and recognize today. Some faculty members behind me here will help recognize our students. First, in particular, we have Professor Max Lawn. He will read the names of the 6 certificate students here who will be receiving the certificates. We have also Professor Marilee Nixon, who will read the names of 11 participating Master of Studies in Law candidates. The Master's of Studies in Law degree program is for those interested in supplementing their current skill sets and knowledge with focused study of the basics of law, as well as the exploration of specialized legal and regulatory areas. And it's a very popular program. We thank Professor Nixon and her team for all that they do for leading the program. And then we'll have Professors Ron Brand and Professor Chuck Katubi. They'll assist in presenting a degree of Doctor of Juridical Sciences to one graduate of our doctoral program for foreign students and foreign scholars, as well as presenting the 31st class of Master of Laws, LLM candidates, lawyers from other countries who have engaged in an intense year of graduate study in American legal system. And I can say that program through the Center for International Legal Education just went through in the fall its 30th anniversary as a program and as a center, and is a pinnacle of much of what we do here at Pitt Law. And then finally, my 2 partners in crime in the Dean's office, Vice Dean John Linarelli and Dean Allie Linsenmeyer. They'll read the names of the Juris Doctorate candidates. All the graduates will proceed across the stage to be congratulated and to receive a certificate of membership in the law school's Alumni Association. And so with that being said, I'm going to now ask Professor Max Lawn and Professor Marilee Nixon to come forward to announce our certificate and MSL candidates as we proceed. Thank you so much.
Amy Dawn Anderson. Rosanna Anderson. Natalie Balin. Alexis Hoke. Amaka Okonyo-Eze. Thank you. Alberta H. Pfeiffer. Jessica Borgert. Jamarius Burton. Danielle Foster. Heather Lobbs. Joe Lodovico. Annie Marlis. Keith Marshall. Sarah McGraw. Tim Reed. Andy Whittemore.
Kenza Afatash from France. Mayer Al-Bashir. Sean Hugo Pride Godwins from Germany. Nael Gozel from France. Oha Horodniuk from Ukraine. Anna Kessels from Germany. Akshay Sharma from India.
The SJD degree, Doctor of Juridical Science, is the highest degree awarded at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. We have a tradition that the professor who has served as the chair of the committee for the graduating SJD student will hood that student. So we have 3 in this year's graduating class to honor today. First, Anis Abdulmonem Al-Hawath.
Daifala Khalid Al-Subi. Laras Susanti.
And now we will begin awarding our JDs. Greta Christine Alderman. Brooklyn Alger. Christian Assad. David Oth. Rogelio Avalar Rivera. Demeji Babalola. Trevor Bailey. Matthew Banyas. Maria Battaglia. Owen Belfier. Lauren Best. Johanna Bezjak. Trisha Biswas. Kika Bowser. Nicholas Bridges. Genevieve Brittingham. Dalton Bird. Thomas Cahall. Elizabeth Candelmo. Kelby Kaplinger. Catherine Genevieve Cassidy. Rofu Chen. No, just go. Aaliyah Briance Kaur. Carly Cummings. Jessica Dye. Mackenzie Damon. Julia Dorenzo. Chris Dilly. Sophia Donati. Pat Doyle. Cooper Feiner. Matthew Forsberg. Evan Forty Hung. Abshar Ghazi. Bailey Glasscock. Stefan Glavcha. Patrick Kieran Gormley. Gabriella Gray. Olivia Gray. That's okay. Dylan Groff. Rosanna Guernica. Celeste Hall. Brooke Hamilton. Dexter Honora. Lance Huckabee. Claudia Huggins. Fiz Imam. Niara Jack. Lisa G. Christian Johnstown. Dan Joyce. William Cabezi. Peyton Cahall. Caitlin Keller. Amara Khan. William Kettle. Anna Elizabeth Leeds. Amit Levin. Josh Loalbo. Cameron Lucas. And now Dean Linarelli and I are going to switch.
All right, thank you. If I mispronounce anybody's name, I owe you lunch. Just email me. Peter Macaretta. That's easy. Noah Manalo. Varshika Mandalapu. Good. Hey. Kelly Marus. Hey. Max Martier. Brianna Mastrolembo. Flynn McCann. Tristan McClellan. Caitlin McDonald. Lindsay McDonald. I'm going too fast. They're going to tell me I'm going too fast. They always tell me. Michael McGaw. Sarah Elizabeth Meehan. Brendan Miller. Sean Miller. Shay Lauren Mullins. Scotland Mummert. Hey, Ken. Ken Nakajima. Adriana Nikolova. Angela Nolan. Connor Oswell. Hey. Good. John Pallone. Hey. And Darla Pamphil. Brittany Papelham. How are you? Gabriel Pasternak. Hey. Kyle Patain. All right, these are all over the place. Krina Patel. Hey, how are you? Alicia Patrikas. Lucas Paskarich. Saket Rajprahat. Danielle Kelly Redfield. Sydney Rapaski. Max Robinette. Logan Russell. Good. Sarah Scott. Sania J. Scott. Brian Shepard. John Short. Aaron Skibbins. Sabrina Skukalek. Cedric Starks. Connor Sullivan. Madeline Swank. Olivia Sweeney. Catherine Telker. Carly Treester. Colin Uher. We got a regular mess. Rebecca Van Dort. Katie Vossler. Ryan Walter. Madison Ward. And Madeline Yingling. Good. And we made a mess up here.
I got it. Thanks, John. Thanks, Vice Dean Linarelli. Thanks to Dean Linsenmeyer and many others. Name cards. Yeah, we'll get them later. That's right. Okay. Now, this is the moment. This is the moment that you all waited for. Would the class of 2026 rise? And you're going to move your purple tassel from the right to the left. And by the authority vested in me as the Dean of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, I pronounce you graduates of the School of Law. Congratulations to all of you. Right, thank you. Please be seated. Extraordinary group, extraordinary talent, and we look forward to all that you are going to achieve in your careers as lawyers. And now I want to turn to, and it's my pleasure to be able to invite Kevin Tucker, who's a good friend of mine and an alum here at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. He is currently serving as the president of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association, also known as UPLA. You have to get that name right, UPLA, in the future, and a proud member of the class of 2011 to share a few words and to welcome all of you now as graduates of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. So, Kevin, come on up.
When I graduated from Pitt Law in 2011, I never imagined I'd one day stand here welcoming a new class of alumni. In fact, I often joke that no one worked harder for such a poor grade as I did in con law my first year. And the truth is, it took me a while to figure things out. By the time I graduated, I still didn't have a job. So instead, I focused on using my Pitt Law degree to help where I could. I volunteered, I took contract work, and I said yes to the opportunities and relationships that my Pitt Law degree opened up. One project led to the next, one connection to another. And over time, those relationships and that foundation carried me forward. That's what I want you, and maybe your parents, to remember today. Your transcript, good or bad, will not define you. You will be defined by the relationships you build, the reputation you develop, and the communities you invest in. And Pitt Law has given you an incredible foundation for all three, including a first-class legal education, a network of talented colleagues and friends, and a community that will open doors for you long after today. Because today you join generations of exceptional lawyers, public servants, advocates, trailblazers, leaders, and helpers who have made a real difference in their professions and in their communities. So on behalf of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association, we are proud to welcome you into that tradition. The Alumni Association exists to support you through mentorship, networking, education, and engagement. But more than anything, it exists to keep this community connected, healthy, and fulfilled. We are here for you, and we hope you will stay engaged and support the generations of Pitt Law graduates who will come next. Congratulations, class of 2026. We wish you every measure of fulfillment in the exciting years ahead. You've got this.
All right, thank you, Kevin, and thanks for all that you do as the president of UPLA. I will say this for the graduates, you know, not all law schools have as strong of an alumni network as Pitt Law. I have to say this, I mean, the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association is incredible. The energy that they bring to the work that they do to help students and recent graduates, whether it's getting a job, whether it's talking about mentorship, just talking through the ebbs and flows of just the practice of law, it is an incredible group. State judges, federal judges, lawyers and partners at law firms, nonprofit organizations. The organization really is here to help serve the University of Pittsburgh, serve the recent graduates, and serve the institution in so many ways. So thank you, Kevin, for all that you do and all that UPLA does as well. That concludes the formal ceremonies, all right? The stage party will withdraw first, of course, followed by the graduates and then our guests. And to our newest graduates, you have our congratulations, of course, our best wishes and our highest hopes. To all of our guests, thank you for being here and joining us here today in this celebration and in this amazing achievement. And I hope that you will now be able to join us. We're going to head to the first floor of the Barco building for a reception in honor of the graduating class, and we're also going to do a toast as well. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much, and congratulations again to the class of 2026.